Did you know the Philippines is the world's second largest archipelago, made up of more than 7,600 islands spread across nearly 1 million square kilometers of ocean? Separated from mainland Asia by the Luzon and Mindanao Straits, it has been shaped by centuries of seafaring trade, colonial ambition, and resilient cultures. Over 175 languages and dialects still thrive from the Cordillera Highlands down to Sulu's turquoise seas, while festivals such as Kadayawan pay homage to bountiful harvests and ancestral deities. From early Malay settlers to 333 years of Spanish rule, then half a century under American tutelage, every town bears church spires, fortifications, and fusion cuisines, like adobo with coconut vinegar. Join us as we embark on a journey through the Philippines' multifaceted soul. (1,540 meters above sea level in the Cordillera Central), Baguio lies about 250 kilometers north of Manila. Founded in 1900 as a hill station for American colonial officials seeking relief from tropical heat, it still preserves grand echo walls and Tudor-style bungalows along Session Road. Cooler temperatures earned it the nickname Summer Capital of the Philippines, drawing both colonizers and locals to escape the lowland heat. The city was planned by American architect Daniel Burnham in the early 1900s, giving it a rare sense of urban order. Even today, gardens, art spaces, and weaving centers continue to flourish amid its foggy ridges. Each February, Panagbenga, the month-long flower festival, paints Burnham Park in vivid petals and choreographed street dances, while the Scottish-inspired Baguio Highland Games recall expatriate traditions. Below, mule train operators guide hikers onto the ancient trails of Mount Santo Tomas, and strawberry farms in nearby La Trinidad allow visitors to pick their own ruby harvest. On the northwest coast of Luzon, 405 kilometers from Manila, Vigan stands as one of only 3 Spanish colonial towns in Asia designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The city's unique layout was influenced by both Spanish and Chinese merchants, whose trade helped build Vigan's wealth. Clay tiles, horse-drawn carriages, and rustic street lamps evoke a time when the Manila-Acapulco galleon trade linked the Philippines to Mexico. Today, artisans still practice age-old techniques like able weaving and Bernay pottery within centuries-old workshops. Cobblestone Calle Crisologo channels 19th-century galleon trade routes. The city is home to one of the oldest surviving schools in the country, St. Paul College, founded in 1904 by Belgian nuns. Every May, the Viva Vigan Binat Batan Festival celebrates the town's weaving traditions with street loom exhibitions and dresses dyed with native indigo. Nearby, the crater lake of Mount Pinatubo, now a startling blue caldera born of its 1991 eruption, lies 90 kilometers to the east, inviting day trip treks across ash-scoured landscapes. Just 115 kilometers south of Manila, Batangas province stretches along 315 kilometers of shoreline, forming the southern rim of Manila Bay and the western flank of the Taal volcano caldera. The region is known for its stoic devotion to Catholic traditions, especially during the Lenten season when towns stage elaborate street processions. It's also a major source of balisong, or butterfly knives, which are handcrafted by local bladesmiths. Batangas coffee, Barako, is prized for its bold, smoky aroma and remains a morning staple across Luzon. The provincial capital, also called Batangas City, was founded in 1754 and retains a fine collection of Spanish-era churches draped in bougainvillea. Inland, mountaineers ascend the rim of Taal, a volcano within a lake on an island in a larger lake, climbing 311 meters from the crater's edge to catch sunrise, casting molten reflections over volcanic lakes. On the coast, dive resorts in Anilao sit atop coral gardens teeming with nudibranchs and ghost pipefish, earning the area its macro diving reputation among underwater photographers. At the heart of Luzon, Manila lies just 14 kilometers south of the bay's northern inlet, yet serves as the crossroads of Philippine history. It has seen over 4 centuries of upheaval, from colonial conquest and wartime devastation to people-led revolutions and rapid modernization. Once the crown jewel of Spanish East Asia, it's now a sprawling metropolis layered with contradictions. Colonial ruins beside neon-lit malls, jeepneys beside high-speed rail. Its dense population and constant motion reflect a country always evolving. Established by the Sultanate of Brunei before Spanish colonization in 1571, Intramuros, the walled city, bound a fortress of adobe bastions and Baroque churches whose ruins still peer over the Pasig River. Beyond the plazas, Escolta Street once bustled with Art Deco cinemas and department stores, today reviving as creative startup hubs. From Binondo's century-old Chinese shops, selling hopia pastries and hand-pulled noodles, to the coup de grace view atop the Rizal Monument, Manila remains a layered palimpsest of Sultanate, Colonia, Commonwealth, and Republic, all pulsating within its 38 square kilometers. On Luzon's northwest shore, Pangasinan province spreads along Lingayen Gulf, a cradle of ancient Luzon agriculture and the site of pivotal World War II landings in January 1945. The name Pangasinan means place of salt, referencing the salt beds that have fueled its economy for centuries. It's also known for bagoong, a fermented fish sauce that adds depth to local cuisine. The province's coastal plains and rivers support both rice and bangus, milkfish farming on a massive scale. Today, its 123 kilometers of coastline hosts over 100 tiny islets, known collectively as the 100 Islands National Park, each rising from emerald waters like abandoned sentinels. Kayakers thread between shell-white beaches, while cliff jumpers dive into turquoise lagoons ringed by limestone outcrops. In nearby Alaminos City, locals celebrate the annual Bangus Festival every April, honoring the province's famed milkfish with street dance parades, grilling contests, and Bangus sculptures crafted from rice and bamboo. A 2-hour drive south of Manila to Batangas City, followed by a 45-minute ferry crossing of the Verde Island Passage, brings you to Puerto Galera, a hilly harbor town famed for its coral diversity. This passage is considered the center of marine biodiversity in the world, attracting scientists and divers alike. Spanish missionaries first arrived here in the 1570s, naming the area Port of the Galleons. Today, it balances vibrant nightlife with ecotourism rooted in reef conservation and coastal cleanup programs. Recognized by marine biologists as the center of global marine biodiversity, its reefs host over 350 coral species and 2,000 fish species at depths ranging from 5 to 40 meters. Night dives reveal fluorescent nudibranchs and bobtail squids, while midday snorkelers drift above sea fans and schooling surgeonfish. The town's white beach thrums with chilled reggae beats each afternoon. Locals mark the Playa Festival in May by painting elaborate sand murals and racing bankaboats in tribal-patterned outrigger skiffs, a living tribute to their seafaring ancestors. Once a sleepy fishing islet, Boracay shot to global fame when its sugar-white sand, 97% pure calcium carbonate, was voted the world's best beach in 2012. The island underwent a government-led environmental rehabilitation in 2018 to preserve its fragile ecosystem. Indigenous ATI communities continue to live on the fringes of the tourism zone, preserving traditional dances and folklore. Despite the crowds, Boracay maintains a delicate harmony between celebration and serenity. Today, 18 4WD-equipped tricycles ferry sunseekers along its 4-kilometer stretch of white beach, lined with low-rise bars serving halo desserts and tangy calamansi margaritas. From November to April, strong northeast trade winds transform Bulabog Beach into a kitesurfer's playground, with colorful kites dotting crystalline bays. Inland, the Ati tribe's elders hold traditional rituals on Mount Luho's viewing deck, 600 meters above sea level, recalling pre-colonial myths of coconut spirits. Nightlife peaks with live bands under palm leaf roofs, Yet by dawn, the powder-soft sands reclaim quiet, inviting barefoot meditation. On the southeastern tip of Cebu Island, Oslob has become synonymous with one of the world's most accessible whale shark encounters. At 6 a.m. sharp, local fishers paddle banca boats into Tanawan Bay to offer krill and small fish to gentle giants that reach up to 12 meters long. Though tourism now fuels its economy, locals still fish and farm using techniques passed down through generations. Oslob's churches and watchtowers reflect centuries of Spanish fortification against Moro raiders. Nearby, Tumalog Falls cascades 50 meters down a moss-covered amphitheater, its mist creating permanent rainbows above jade pools. Each February, the Feast of Señor Santo Niño draws families from across Cebu for fluvial parades along the coastal highway, where riders scatter petals from barge-mounted carriages. Inland rice terraces, though smaller than those in Banaue, still host planting festivals in June, with farmers pounding rice in wooden mortars to the beat of bamboo percussion. Leyte Island stands at the center of the 1944 Battle of Leyte Gulf, the largest naval battle in history, where Admiral Halsey's fleets clashed against Imperial Japan's armada across 300,000 square kilometers of sea. Today, the MacArthur Landing Memorial in Palo commemorates General Douglas MacArthur's return with towering bronze figures striding ashore. Beyond its war stories, Leyte is also home to geothermal fields and verdant rice paddies stretching toward the sea. Its capital, Tacloban, hosts the annual Sangyao Festival, a lively celebration of cultural unity and faith. Further inland, the town of Ormoc hosts Pinta Kakulay, a celebration of local tapestry crafts and indigenous ware-ware culinary heirlooms such as kinala, fish ceviche, infused with calamansi and ginger. At night, firefly-lit mangrove creeks offer guided paddle tours that reconnect visitors to a landscape once scarred by bombs, but now teeming with wildlife. On the southwestern tip of Mindanao, Zamboanga City, dubbed Asia's Latin City, carries the legacy of over 4 centuries of Spanish, Mexican, and Filipino mingling. Here, people speak Chavacano, a Spanish-based Creole that survived centuries of change. Fort Pilar stands as a symbol of colonial defense, now transformed into a religious shrine. The city is also famous for its vinta boats, colorfully sailed vessels that represent both cultural pride and maritime tradition. Villa del Mar along the peninsula's eastern shore still preserves colonial forts like La Punta, where bronze cannons once guarded against Moro and pirate incursions. On Santa Cruz Island, visitors can walk across powder white pink sand beaches, colored by crushed red organ pipe coral, and taste pastel-colored cuaracha, a local slipper lobster, sautéed in coconut milk. Known as Mindanao's City of Golden Friendship, Cagayan de Oro sits at the mouth of the Cagayan River. Its nickname reflects both the warmth of its people and its role as a commercial hub in northern Mindanao. Originally a Spanish mission settlement, it grew into a vital trading post for inland tribes and coastal merchants. Today, its rapid growth is driven by tourism, education, and technology sectors. Spanish missionaries established a garrison here in 1622, but today it's best known as the whitewater rafting capital of the Philippines, with Class 3-5 rapids thundering through rainforested canyons just 20 kilometers upstream. Downtown street stalls dish out pastel de tentacion, golden empanadas filled with sweetened coconut and jackfruit, while craft breweries near Gaston Park brew banana-infused ales in homage to the city's prolific plantations. Despite wartime scarring, CDO has traded muskets for paddles and built a thriving eco-adventure economy that still honors its missionary origins. The second largest island in the Philippines, Mindanao spans some 97,000 square kilometers of mountains, valleys, and coastal plains. It's the agricultural heart of the country, producing the majority of its bananas, pineapples, and cacao. Though often misunderstood, Mindanao is a land of immense diversity, resilience, and cultural depth. While known historically for Moro resistance against Spanish and American colonizers, today it hosts a living tapestry of Lumad ethno-linguistic groups, Maranao lake dwellers, and Tausug seafarers. In Marawi City, the Grand Mosque's minarets frame Lake Lanao's glassy surface. Farther south, Mount Apo, the Philippines' highest peak at 2,954 meters, draws climbers seeking sunrise above the land of promise. Mindanao's vast Silk Road-style trading routes once connected gold-bearing rivers to Sulu's ebony ports. Today, Its marketplaces hum with halal cuisine and Bangsamoro coffee harvested on volcanic inclines. Located in the Visayas, Bohol's Chocolate Hills, 1,200 dome-shaped karst formations covering 50 square kilometers, shimmer russet in the dry season, drawing geology buffs worldwide. These hills are steeped in legend, said to be the tears of a giant mourning lost love. Beneath those hills, the Lobak River meanders through rainforest canopies, hosting floating lunch cruises and firefly spotting tours at dusk. Boholanos are known for their hospitality and melodic dialect, which mirrors the musicality of their coastal surroundings. The island also played a role in resisting both Spanish rule and American colonization. Tarsier sanctuaries near Corella protect the world's smallest primates, whose giant eyes reflect the beam of flashlights as visitors whisper to avoid startling them. Annual Sandugo reenactments commemorate the 1565 blood compact between Datu Sikatuna and Spanish explorer Miguel López de Legazpi, the first formal treaty of friendship in Philippine history, while nearby Panglao Island's dive sites brim with reef sharks and crustacean-flecked walls. Stretching over 1,780 kilometers from Mindoro Strait to Borneo, Palawan Province is often ranked the world's best island, thanks to its sheer limestone cliffs, hidden lagoons, and emerald green mangrove forests. Once part of the Sunda Shelf, its unique geology connects it more closely to Borneo than Luzon. Conservation efforts have made it a model for ecotourism across Southeast Asia. The local Tagbanua people have ancestral rights over much of the land and continue to protect it with sustainable practices. El Nido, at the northern tip, 230 kilometers from Puerto Princesa, boasts the Bakui archipelago's secret lagoons and towering pinnacles that have doubled as Hollywood backdrops. Sea life here ranges from manta rays in Tubataha Reef Natural Park to sea turtles nesting on remote San Vicente beaches. And the Calauit Safari Park reintroduces African giraffes alongside endemic Palawan bearcats. On Palawan's east coast lies the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site featuring an 8.2-kilometer navigable limestone cave. Boats glide beneath Gothic stalactites and mysterious chambers whose echoes carry centuries-old legends of river spirits. Each November, the Mutiang Puerto Princesa pageant crowns a princess of the underground river. drawing contestants who don native shell-beaded costumes. Above ground, the city celebrates Barangay Lianga's Bonak Bonak Marajao Carajao Festival every December, where masked dancers reenact creation myths atop painted bamboo platforms. Back in town, beachside barbecue stalls sizzle skewers of puso, hanging rice wrapped in coconut leaf, pairing perfectly with tangy kinalaw made from freshly caught tanig. The city itself has won national awards for cleanliness and environmental management. Its location makes it a gateway to both adventure and biodiversity, with easy access to both jungle interiors and offshore reefs. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. If you'd like to join us on the next one, then let's go travel here.